Towards the end of the session, there will be a Q&A questions. So if you do have any questions that you'd like to ask, please post your question using the Q&A functions available in this Zoom webinar. And while waiting, allow me to introduce to you our speaker for the day, Mr. Yudi Lesmana. Just to share a bit before we bring Mr. Yudi Lesmana into the picture. So Mr. Yudi holds the title of an International Grandmaster of Memory, a Vice President of Education of the Asia Memory Sports Alliance, Chairman of Indonesia Memory Sports Council. Furthermore, he is also one of the best-selling author of his book in Memory and Learning Strategy in Indonesia. Mr. Yudi has various of experiences in memory industry as an organizer of the International Memory Championships, as well as a memory trainer. He hosts many memory championships back when he was in Indonesia. Not only that, he also brings a group of memory athletes into overseas to participate. In fact, during 2017 of the Singapore Open Memory Championships and the Asia Open Memory Championships 2019, Mr. Yudi brought over almost half of the participants amount into Singapore to participate in this championship. Mr. Yudi has been a very strong supporter in memory championships. Without further ado, shall we have a round of thumbs up to invite Mr. Yudi to share with us about critical thinking. So, Mr. Yudi, please.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Felix, for your invitations. I hope all the participants come here in a good conditions during the quarantine season in your country. Hopefully that today I can share several things that might advantage you in advance. So I'm very happy to see that there is a lot of people come from many countries here now. I thought that there is from Singapore, from Uzbekistan, from Indonesia, and moreover, maybe you can tell me later where you come from. So tonight, I would like to introduce one of our current research, not just only in the memory, but we will talk about the critical and creative thinking as the title of today's webinar. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brand Talk, critical and creative thinking. So hopefully you can see my slides clearly now, because hopefully no technical issue during the this talk. Well, let's see. Okay, so first of all, I would like to tell you or ask you about critical thinking. So to explain about critical thinking, I have two types of questions. First, let me give you the memory type questions. So this is what we learned from the last brand talk, when we have some questions regarding memory. Usually the questions like this: when internet found, who invented the triple W? So if you cannot remember from what you read, you cannot answer these questions. But if you already search it on Google, yes, you can find it. But what if you got the questions like this, critical type questions? The questions is look like this: how we use internet to improve our learning quality. So from these questions, you will see that you need to know the function of internet, and also you need to know what is the good quality of learning. So there's two different parts that you need to connect. So you need to know the information from internet and also from learning. This kind of answer of these questions, you cannot just directly Google it, but you need to think more. That's why we call it critical type questions. And in other ways, the other example of the questions is like this: why kids need to be accompanied when using internet? So we have to know what kids cannot do and what internet potential harm for that kids. So there are two different information that need to be connected each other. So we need the critical thinking skill to answer it in a good way. But if you see our brain, so our brain has so many lobes. At least we have 5 lobes. And then where's the memory? Memory comes from the temporal lobe. So when you do the memorizations, you remember anything you got, like a emotion or like a situation that makes you remember one thing, or you learn something, you read something, and then you can remember, it will place on your temporal lobe. But when you have another step of learning, you need to think, you need to analyze, you need to make another modification. You become, you put the brain works on the frontal lobes. That's in a decision making, attention, planning. So two parts of this brain works together, and it's connected by the neurons. That's when I would say this is our neuron, and beside the neurons there is a synapse. When you cannot understand one thing, maybe your synapse is not yet connected, but if you keep repeated to learning, you search again, and you try to practice, and you try to search more, and then you do it again, you did again, next day you did again, until you can master it. Your synapse is connected. That's how our brains already understand of one thing. Now, why critical and creative thinking? In 2015, World Economic Forum already have a meeting there. They talk about what skills that needed on the next few years. On 2015, they said that critical thinking is in the number 4 and the creative in number 10. But now in 2020, critical thinking because become one of the top 3 skills that needed by people. And then the creativity also increased in number 3. And they already also met the prediction on 2020, where the number 1 growing skills that needed by everybody, that students, professionals, and also other person who do some education work, they need analytical thinking and innovations. That's why since a lot of business come during this pandemic, disruption come, and then we need someone who can analytic and then try to find the innovations to get a better business or to get a better life in the next future. So to connect it between the creative critical thinking and the memory, I believe on one taxonomy we call Bloom's taxonomy. In Bloom's taxonomy we have remember here. Remember is kind of memory things, memory works. We paste it on the working memory on temporal lobe. But remembers remain you to stronger your basic concepts. This is like a tree. If you have a tree, they have strong root. Maybe they have a flourishing tree. So remember, if you have good basic concept, you will have good critical thinking. So after remember, you go to understand, you apply, analyze, evaluate. What's the difference? Maybe if understand, you can explain the ideas, but apply, you have the information, you can do in another situations, you can use that information in another situation. And then if you have a lot of ideas that need to be connected each other, become the you will have the skill of analyzing. Now we start with critical and creative thinking. I will start from the first thing, creativity. So one of the creativity lesson that we have is visual creativity. This is just one of several creativity method. Why put this first on this webinar? Because during this webinar, I will ask you to join me to make the quiz, the games up with the creativity, with visual creativity, and then you can answer it later after the webinar end. From after the Q&A, during Q&A, you can answer from my slide here. So this is the how we practice the visual creativity. For example, you have this shape. This basic shape is a round. So look at, maybe from this shape, I can make some possibilities things during the shape, like donut. Maybe it looks like donut, or bull's eye, a person's eye, or maybe like a ring, a clock, door handle. If you see the head looking down from above, compass, cassette tape, sticky tape, button, saucer plate, and etc. But this is what we can make from this basic shape. Now, our brains mainly remember usual or common shapes like triangle, square, and also round. And during this webinar, I want to make I want you to make some possibility shape. If you can see the shape beside me, and then there is a four shape, and if you can make 0 to 3 possibility shapes, it means you are in the low flexibility here. It means a turn to the creativity. So if you get 4 and 7, it's average. If 8, more than 8, maybe you are in a high flexibility, and then probably you are the person who have a higher creativity. Now, this is the shapes. This is the figure that you can photo now. Maybe you are during the webinar, you have your camera, phone, or you want to print screen. You can do it now. You can photo, or you can remember, or you can see through my virtual background. And then just think during this webinar, I will ask you at the end of the Q&A session. You can type the chat what figure, for example, figure A, what things that possibility you make from this shape, maybe like sun, maybe like face, and another. Each shapes, if you can answer it more than 8, it means you are in a high flexibility of creativity. So I will let you to remember this or take photo of this, and then at the Q&A session, please help me to have as many as possible possibility things that you can chat on this in those webinar. So we will move forward to the our next lessons is about the use compass in organizational thinking. I mean, this is not real compass. This is just one abbreviation of the use compass. And this is the skeleton of our critical and creative thinking method. Actually, we divide it into 4 parts. First, if someone want to get the good creativity, good critical thinking skill, they have to be in organizational thinking way. And then the second, they need to practice the analytical thinking, and then the critical and reflective thinking, then move to the creative thinking. So we start from the organizational thinking. This is the first step of being good critical thinker. Now, to help me explain you about the organizational thinking, I would like invite another panelist here. I have my friend from France, Thomas, and I would like invite you to come into this webinar. And also I have my friend from Philippines, Abby Bonita. Abby Bonita, please come to this webinar. And then also I have my friends, Eric from Indonesia. Please come into this webinar. So Abby, how are you?
Hi. Hi, Yudi. Hi, everyone. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so we have Eric here, and then probably we will have Thomas also. Yes, Thomas. How are you, Thomas?
I'm very good, thank you, Yudi.
Thank you. Okay,
Hi,
so I would like to explain to all of you, to your participants, about organizational thinking. But first, I need my friends here to help me to explain it. What in their mind about YouTube? How they explain about YouTube? For example, for Thomas first, what do you think? How do you explain about YouTube?
YouTube, for me, I'd say it's a really good win-win situation. So you could either be a viewer or you could be a content creator. And as a viewer, I think it's really interesting because you can pretty much learn anything now. You can learn how to cook, you can learn how to climb, you can learn how to memorize. And if you're a content creator and you're good at it and you reach 1,000 subscribers, you can make income and make money. And I think some YouTubers make more than $1 million a year. So I think that's the binary way I would structure it in my mind, if you may.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. And I think it will be different from Abby. So what do you think, Abby? How you explain about YouTube?
Like YouTube before is just a way here to watch like movies, short video clips, or like music videos. But on recent years, as what Thomas said, content creators has increased, and now YouTube is known by many people as a source of passive income. So many people are starting to join the platform to earn passive income, especially now in the
Become
pandemic
YouTuber.
period. Yes, become YouTubers.
Okay, so it's not just only the entertainment way,
Yeah.
but this is the source of income. And how about Eric? What do you think about YouTube?
Yeah, well, it's basically a video sharing platform, but I want to look at it at both sides. One is the content creator, and one is from the users, or like us. From the content creator, it's a place or a platform where you can express your ideas, creativity without using the mainstream media like TV or radio. So this is where content creator can really express their minds without many rules like the other mainstream ideas. And also, this is a platform where can help uh, young generation people to get more money, I think, because nowadays 17 years old, 18 can already make millions or even billions by using this platform. And
Yeah.
for yeah, and for us, for the users, I think it's a good uh, options besides TV or Netflix to get entertainment and even lessons from people all around the world. I think so. It's a very good app. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, our panelists, and thank you for helping me to explain about YouTube. I think each of you also has your own explanation about YouTube. What I want to say through this use compass, we can explain one thing. I use compass, but use compass is stand for first. If you got one thing, for example, that YouTube, I want to explain about the use, and the C stand for the color. Color may be some relevant, but maybe you can explain about the brand for the case of the YouTube. And then the O is stand for origin, M stand for the material, parts, and then H for the A, S, the first S is size and the shapes. This is the organizational way you to explain one things. Okay, let's explore more. If we say that YouTube, I will like do the use compass, and the use compass you can use in any product. So participants, you can use the use compass theory to explain one product or one thing or one phenomenon. For example, like in YouTube, YouTube is sharing video, has the red and black brand logo, origin for California, USA. The material inside is only the video, so you cannot put only text, cannot write except the video text, video lyrics, and then parts. There is a lot of parts. It is trending video, likes, subscriber, AdSense. That AdSense means reflect you can get money from YouTube, and then it's already 15 years. It means the people who not in the still below 15 more than 15 years, like for me, I cannot watch YouTube during my high school and during my junior high school, so I just watch YouTube when I was in university. So lucky today's generation, you can watch YouTube from your primary high school. Then the size, I would like to say 2 billion users worldwide. It means so many people watch YouTube, and then this is the good way of promotions of you can promote something through the YouTube because people watching the YouTube every day. And then the shape is digital. When I use the use compass, when you try to explain something, I just to reconnect one information to another information to another information to become one paragraph. So if someone asks me, how do you explain about YouTube? YouTube is a sharing video from California, USA. It contains a video that has part of trending video like subscriber AdSense and already 15 years with the logo red and a black, has 2 billion users worldwide, and you can access it digital. So when you explain it using the use compass, you almost explain all the things, and then you can explore more. Like if you have a part AdSense, it means you can get money. If you you see the trending video, you can entertain yourself with the what happened to this in the world. So we will use another use compass for another product. So can we use compass for further purpose? Yes, you can also do it for like comparisons. So This is my own experience when I this from if I have money, I want to subscribe of music streaming. I think already music streaming, and then I have, for example, $5 in a month. My budget's $5, so I should use Spotify or Apple Music because the use is digital music streaming. But we can use Compass to make the relevant decision making, which product that I will subscribe for. So I will I need my panelists to help me here so we can explore more about this. So I think the colors is quite easy, right? Because if we make the comparison, Spotify is green, and also the Apple Music is, I don't know what colors is pink and black, black pink.
Pink and black, yeah.
Okay, is it Blackpink? Okay, okay, and then I will ask whether you know or not the origin of Spotify is
I think
maybe
it's from
right?
USA.
I think Apple Music is USA,
Apple is from
USA.
California, USA as well.
California as well,
Because
but
they
you
have
know,
it on the back of the phone,
okay, okay,
designed
but
in California.
do you know Spotify came from Sweden?
Oh,
Okay, so it just that came from Sweden. So of course, maybe the download in Sweden may be more than the others. And then about the material, we know both of them have songs, right?
Yes.
Songs and music in English.
yeah.
So
So is there any
And
other material inside?
podcasts.
for Spotify podcast,
Oh, there's a podcast on Spotify. So no podcast in Apple, I think, right? Because they have their
Yeah,
own.
yeah. I think they have their own platform for podcasts.
Yes, okay, first. And then I don't know whether AB, do you use Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify.
I use Spotify. Of course, you know the part. What is the part of Spotify? Maybe they have some kind of
Like
list.
the yeah, list, like you can categorize the songs based on the genre.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, is there any chart in the Spotify? The like the top chart, top 10 chart?
Um, Normal, because I've used Spotify for a long time already,
Mm.
so I'm really not sure if there's like the top list. But what I
Yeah,
normally see is like the if you want to listen like to the classical
yeah.
music, it
I
has
don't
something
think
like that.
Yeah.
Spotify has charts like the top 10 Billboard or a week. This I think they only have like these groupings of uh, songs that made by people, I think, but they don't have this
Okay.
charts by the Spotify itself, whether which songs are the most listened to at a particular week or month. So I don't think Spotify has
Favorites.
that.
But I think on the Apple Music, maybe I or Thomas ever
Thomas.
search about it. Apple Music, I think, have the top chart, right? The top chart of each genre music that given by the Apple Music. Is it
It's
true or?
been a long time I haven't used the Apple version, so maybe now they have a ranking. You're right.
Ah, that's
I'm
great.
not sure.
So they have like a ranking by themselves, like, oh, this is the most popular now, and then you will be in a
Songs.
top chart in every genre and also overall, right? So this is what happened about the age. Do you have an idea which one the older?
Apple.
Apple?
Apple. Apple Music is the next genre of the iTunes actually. So Apple Music's built on 2015, and then
Ah,
before that, and then
Yeah.
but Spotify on 2006.
2006. Yeah.
Okay, so what I want to show to you, like when people want to compare something, they can analyze something, but without data they cannot analyze precisely. analyze it precisely. So when we have the data, we can analyze precisely. Okay, about the size. What do you think? If I say a size, if the YouTube, I say the billion user, and then when we use the use compass, maybe we can use another understanding of size. For example, for me, like size can be how many songs in the Spotify, and also how many songs in the Apple Music. So, which one the most? I will pick it as my choice of the streaming music video. But in other way, do you think there's another way of think of size that you can put on the Spotify and Apple Music?
Maybe the users, like the YouTube
Oh, like the users,
users
right?
for each, yeah,
User for it,
and
so it's
users
different.
for
And
each.
maybe also the bit rate of the song. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I just saw like the bit rate of the song. The Spotify, what I remember, has three types. So you want to streaming in the normal, medium, or high. If a high, you have uh, three, 320 kilobyte per second. But
Mm.
Apple Music is only one. Only 256 kilobyte per second. But maybe we can see in another way, like a user, how many songs. Do you have any idea, the others, about size we can
Maybe,
put here?
Yeah,
like maybe features or categories. How many categories do
Oh,
Spotify have,
yeah,
or
that's
as
great.
compared to Apple? Or,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. And Thomas, do you see another point of view
For
about?
me, like Spotify, I mostly use it on streaming, but I know that you have the possibility of if you don't have internet in a particular area, you can
Mm.
still listen to the song if you downloaded it on your phone. But then
Oh,
yes,
Oh,
it
that's good
depends on
one.
how much storage you have on your phone. So then it's more about the capacity of your phone.
Okay. And then
mm.
the participant also can have their comment about this, and I know you are interested, challenging by, oh, you can compare it by the use compass and the shape, both of them is digital, right? So we found these things, and then what we miss is also the part uh, from the part, about the free subscriptions. I mean, like free trial. The one Spotify has the free trial, right? You can use by
Yes.
free, but
Yeah.
Apple don't have that. So sometimes like Spotify using by the new one, so they just want to know what happened, and then it's okay for them to see ads during the streamings. Yeah, it's okay as long as I am not paying that. But maybe for the Apple iPhone use, they want to use the Apple Music because it's suitable for them, and etc. People has their own, but for sure, use compass will help you to compare one to another thing and to choose which one is more suitable with you. Not to see that who is the winner, but which one is suitable for me. Okay, so that's why each product has their own market. Each product has their own market. Seems like when I was in Philippines to see AB, to saw AB, I saw so
Mm.
many Jollibee, but I say that there is a McD also. We can compare also, like why people come to Jollibee at the time. Why not come to McD in Philippines, but in my country it's only few Jollibee, but a lot of McD. I don't know in France. Maybe is it any fast food in France? Is any Jollibee in France, Thomas?
No, I'm not familiar with this. Sorry.
You're not familiar with it. Okay. So is it McDonald in France? Of course,
McDonald's.
right?
McDonald's is pretty big, yeah.
Very big. Okay, so yeah, it's like maybe KFC and the McDonald's, and maybe like they have a Burger King. Yeah, maybe sometimes like the fast foods can be compared with the use compass. So use compass help you to deliver explanation in structured way and to choose most stable product for you. So whenever you already in this webinar, you can remember, okay, I need to compare something or I need to explain something. Remember, use compass. The use, color, original, material, part, age, size, shape. And then whenever you want to explain something to your mom or to your friends, to your partners, just thinking use compass. And you want to know about one thing, just thinking of use compass. I will search based on use compass. When the information stored in your head, you can connect it. You can connect the information and use it to explain more in a more critical way. So we will practice our brain more in organizational thinking to enhance our critical thinking skills. So I will go for generalizing. Okay, about the generalizing, let's observe this. So participant, you can observe this, and also my lovely panelists who helped me today to interactive in an interactive webinar. So I have ice cream. I believe most of you like ice cream. And then the second, I have cake. And then the third, I have cookies. Okay, and then uh, let's see the characteristics. Ice cream is sweet, served cold, and soft texture. But the cake has a soft texture, sweet, and frosting, right? And then between the ice cream and the cake, they have two similar criteria. But from the cookies, sweet and crisp, okay? But not soft texture, and then no need in a frozen. So if I put in the Venn diagram to make generalization, so the only one things that all of them has sweet. And then all of them we know in the restaurant on the menu of the restaurant as a desserts. So desserts are generally sweet. So this is how we exercise our brain to make generalizations. So whenever you want to put the menu, the things, the menu in the restaurant about the dessert, so make sure that's sweet. If not sweet, that's not dessert. There's another way. So this is, we use the Venn diagram. Maybe it's a little bit not practical to use Venn diagram. Why? Because you need to draw and like that, but you can use also the table. And then what is the key to make the generalization? You choose as many as example that you can. For example, I put ice cream, cake, and I put one banana split, molten lava cakes. That's very nice. You can imagine the soft texture with the chocolate inside. Very nice. And then also cookies. So this is the part, the one part of generalizations. You can do also this, like in your country, maybe you know put what is generalization of your government. You can put the minister here, the example minister, and you put the properties there. So you mean the characteristic. So back to the dessert. I put some properties here, like a sweet, soft, cold, fruit base, and soft texture. From these properties, we can analyze it. For example, like sweet. Yes, all of them have sweet, like ice cream, cake, banana split, molten lava cake, cookies, sweet. But soft coat, no. The cake is no need to soft coat. Molten lava cake, no need to soft coat. Cookies, no need to soft coat. How about the fruit base? Only one has split. That must be fruit based. Sometimes ice cream fruit based, but sometimes not. Cake sometimes fruit based, sometimes not. About soft texture, there is one not soft texture, cookies. But is that container drinking water? I mean, like easy to drink? No, I think no. Ice cream, cake, banana split, water is not a kind of drink. So what is this generalization about the dessert? Desserts are sweet and non-beverage. This is how we practice to make the generalization to practice our critical thinking way. So all of things has the reason. The key of to have a good critical thinking, every time you say something, you have the reason behind it. So if you know the reason behind it, you just memorize it. If you just memorize it, you cannot explore more. But if you do the critical thinking way, you can explore more, you can find the innovations, you can find the problem. Okay, let's practice through these sessions. I will need help from my lovely panelists also. We'll talk about social media. I don't know whether you use social. Abby, do you use what kind of social media, Abby?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook,
So
Instagram, yeah.
you are my auntie. Okay. Okay. No problem. Okay. Eric, what do you use? Inst
Well, I'm using Instagram. Instagram.
Instagram.
Yes, Instagram. Yeah.
How about you,
For
Thomas? Do you use TikTok?
I'm quite minimalist on this side, so I only use Facebook. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So I will put maybe the panelists should be younger, right? So have a TikTok. Okay. So I put some example here: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. So we will fill in the generalization of these topics, social media. So I need help from my panelists here. So I will start from AB. AB, do you think Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook and Twitter has the sharing platform?
Yeah, for Instagram, it has both photos and videos. Normally, if you add text, it has some kind of animations. But
Yeah,
for
yeah,
TikTok, it's mostly videos.
yeah. It's
And
TikTok
then,
only video, right? Even you're not play, you
yeah.
know about it because your student maybe play TikTok, right?
yeah,
And then
yeah. And
so all of them has sharing platform, right?
but
Yeah.
for Twitter, it just have text.
Just
So
have
no,
okay. So it
Twitter
is
doesn't have text.
yeah,
Twitter doesn't have photo or uh, it has video links that
yeah.
will transfer to another website, but I
Yeah.
don't think it has embedded photo and video. Mostly it's
But
text
in
and photo.
general way, they are sharing something, right? Even
Yeah, I
the
get it.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And then you try to make that which one has the biggest subscriber or the biggest user because they have their own uniqueness. So when I was using Facebook frequently, and then I can type and then share. When I use Instagram, I cannot just type. I need to take a photo, and then I take a photo, whatever photo, and then I type something. So that's an Instagram way. And I not yet playing TikTok, just several times with my student. Okay, about newsfeed, Eric, do you know about those social media? Which one use
Newsfeed.
the newsfeed or not?
Uh, I use Instagram a lot, but I don't think Instagram has their built-in newsfeed. So I think it's a no for Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, but the gossip
Uh,
they have, right?
yeah, they have gossip from
They have gossip from the user.
the content creator already, the
Okay.
celebgram, what we call it.
Okay. And about
Yeah,
TikTok?
for TikTok, I haven't used it, but based on the videos of TikTok I saw,
Hmm.
I think there's no. It's only video sharing platform. I think so. They don't
Okay.
have this news or news feed kind of
Okay.
thing. But it's a no. Yeah.
Yeah. And on Facebook?
Yeah. Facebook has news feed. I think.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I think has
Is it
because
true?
sometimes people read the news from the Facebook, right?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Twitter?
True, true. Twitter, I think it's mostly the same with Instagram. I think they don't have any news feed like
Hmm.
Facebook, but they
Hmm.
have news from the users as well.
Okay.
I think so. It's a
So
no.
no. Okay. So I will go to my friend from French. Thomas, do you know filter in here? Or Brazil?
If you mean a photo filter or if you mean a filtering by category.
Oh, maybe the filter here to make you more beauty.
Beautification.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
You know, like sometimes you post yourself into the media social, it's not like the real one, right? So if you want to post the real one, okay, you post on a Facebook. Maybe the Facebook has the filter, but another. But when Instagram, people usually is very aesthetic, so
Yeah.
they have the like in this way filter is like to make you like a younger or the lighting will be better or the you need to make another type of photo. So, do you know about the Instagram whether you use a filter or not?
Yeah, for sure. It's like it's their business model. They want people to show the best version of themselves and add filters. So I think the filters from Instagram are probably the best.
Oh,
TikTok, I actually don't know since I haven't used it. I would say probably no.
Yeah. In a TikTok?
TikTok, I'd say no. No filters.
Yeah, TikTok. What do you think, Auntie AB?
Yes,
Yeah,
it has filter.
as a filter, because
Yes, yes.
all of the people in the TikTok looks nice, right?
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
filter.
And then how about Facebook? Do they have a filter? Do you think, Thomas?
I think they do. It's
Yeah,
limited, but they do.
because when I saw my birthday, there's a lot of people send a birthday gift, and then we'll filter, and then sometimes like it's like a pop up. Right? It makes more like cheering up people, right?
Yeah, you can
There's a
add
fit.
features. Yeah.
And a Twitter. Do you know about Twitter? They using filter or not?
Not sure.
I'm not sure, right? Okay, so I think also not sure because a lot of people using Twitter for like in my I know my country using for political way, and another stalking for the Korean K-pop. So you can use the Twitter also. And then I believe using internet connection, I believe all of us agree that
Yeah.
they use the internet, right? We cannot access without
Yeah.
internet. So this is how the social media work. They need internet. When you don't have internet, you cannot access your friends sharing, right? If, unless it's already safe. And about web-based. So web-based, I put the properties web-based. It means it can easily access through the web-based or work fluently in a web-based. What do you think, Abby? Is it Instagram can use in a web-based?
I think yes.
Oh, I think I have a one post Instagram to the web base because my phone broken at the time, so I post something Instagram through the website. Eric, do you know TikTok use a web base or not?
I think it's no. I think it's only can be used on your app on your phone
Oh, so they need
because
to
usually that's using
install the
the
apps, right?
phone. Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
they have to
the
install.
how TikToks work, you need to install the apps, whatever condition you have to install. But Facebook is a common. I think I don't know whether people can use the web based, right? And then
Yeah, I use Facebook more on the web than the app itself. I
because it's
think it's
heavy,
easier
right?
on the web. Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
it's heavy on your phones, and I think also the Twitter also can access in the web, so only TikTok not. So, but we cannot generalize that social media need a web-based access, because one thing no. So, we'll back to Thomas. Thomas, do you know that Instagram has the page group or not?
Sorry, has page what?
Page group, like when you do like today's we have the streaming on the page of Facebook of Asia Memory Sport Alliance. It means like Facebook has the page group, right? Like the French and one group, like the World Memory Championship group, maybe. Yeah, that's of course Facebook has. But Instagram, do you think
I don't have a strong opinion on that since I don't use it much, but I would say a rough guess, like yes.
Oh, you say yes. What do you think, Eric, about Instagram? Do you think Instagram has a group?
I don't think Instagram has a group. I think it's only like when you try to search something, they usually
Hashtag.
show. Yeah, they usually show the similar posts
Oh,
or similar.
so they're grouping the
pages,
information
but I
through
don't
the.
think. Yeah, but I don't think it's a group as in Facebook group or page as in Facebook. I think it's different. I don't think Instagram has a page or a group like that.
So what do you think, Abby?
Like
I follow your account on Instagram, right?
like for maybe for a group, no, but if you're referring to like a page for company pages where people follow,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Instagram has, like a whole page where people follow.
So how we conclude that if we have a different type like this? Is that we can say Instagram has a group?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
we can.
because on that reason, right? You can say
Yeah,
that.
for you follow it, so
Yeah,
yes.
that's our reason, right? Maybe if our reason is stronger, you can put no. That's what critical thinking. That's what happened to our work. Sometimes our point of view say that this is the correct. My friends say that no. My friends at other point of view say that this is the correct one, but in my point of view, no. But it depends on your argumentation. So it's good to have argumentations in here. I mean, Abby said that the group in the, like that. TikTok has a group page. Do you think? All of us didn't play TikTok, but I think the participant, there's a
Yeah.
participant who play TikTok. I think no. Okay, I didn't know. And also the Twitter also I think no, right? So what we can generalize from the social media. So social media is the sharing platform that using internet connections. So that's a simple. What the reason? The reason is this. So this is how we do the generalization in further way. So thank you once again, Abby, Thomas, and Eric for helping us to make generalizations. And all the participants, we have another one about decision making, but I would like to explain a little bit. So sometimes we have to make a choice between some different alternatives, and it's not easy, right? When you have to decide the important thing in our life, whether to go to that university or not, to choose this job or not, to learn this or not. So you have to make decision making. So actually you need more time to learn it, but I believe we have a shorter time because we kind of enter the Q&A session. And I believe you want to join this session, special for decision making, you can email to Yudi at Ingatan Gajah with subject I want decision making, or you have the group WA, the link that's sent by the Felix and the team of the brand talk. You can write the similar thing. I want decision making. You just type it on the WhatsApp group. So we will make separate class, separate online class through the brand talk. We can learn decision making, also, of course, for free. So you can know how to make the good decision making, what the parameter, how to make the factors, and how to make the ranking about it. So when this has happened, it will be the end of June. So we will let you know after you type the message to our WhatsApp group, or you can send email to me, to Yudi at Ingatan Gajah. You just type I want decision making. We will follow up for you later after that, and we will make in this. We will meet in the separate class. So that's all what I want to say, and this is time for the Q&A. And I would like to give back to our lovely MC, Mr. Felix Ng. And then also the participant can type what you think about the figure A, figure B, figure C, figure D can make it. So thank you for the time, Felix. So we come to the Q&A.
All right, thank you, Yudi. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you, AB, and thank you, Eric, for joining us in this session. So we've come to the part where we are doing a Q&A session. So if any of you have any questions with regards to critical thinking, you can actually post it up. Yeah, so maybe we'll just give a next few minutes for Q&A. So feel free to post it up.
Okay, so
maybe as a start, Mr. Yudi,
yeah.
I'll ask first, okay, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's okay.
So you're actually sharing with us that okay. So you're actually sharing with us that critical thinking is the ability to think clearly and kind of rationally about what to do and what to believe. So maybe could you perhaps share with us how is critical thinking relevant to more to our daily life, to our work, and maybe in terms for students is to their studies. Maybe you can elaborate in this case.
Okay, thank you for your question, Felix. So I will give the skeleton of the critical thinking structure. So I will you all to see this time. Look at this. Start from organizational thinking. Look at the diagram in here. So is it our life? Sometimes we try to find the difference between something and not. Like this kind of person is different, or I want to compare this person to another person. Even when you try to find your lovely one for your life, you need to like difference it. And then when you have a friend, sometimes you categorizing your friends, right? And this is my friend who can learn, and this is my friend who cannot learn, just having fun, right? And then when you do the learning, sometimes you make the concept maps, like some mind mapping. That's a concept map. You can do the fishbone to make the analysis, which the problem. And then we move another to analytical thinking in our daily life. So sometimes we see the pattern. If you do the trading one, I believe AB one of Bitcoin trading level was I was, and she won a lot, right? You need to know the pattern, right? You need to know the pattern, when to sell it, when to buy it. And then in our daily life, distinguishing fact and opinion. Now we are in the pandemic of COVID-19. I believe some of information come in and come out of your head, but you don't know where is the fact, where is not. So when you stuck in the opinion, people's opinion without the fact, you will stuck in horrible things, right? Except the opinion came from the expert. So we need to filter in our daily life. So it's really need in your daily life, like a make relevant argument. If you have make one decision, right, and then something's wrong, what is your argument? And if it is right, what we can evaluate, what we can improve. And even in a critical and reflective thinking, look at the bottom one. You also learn about asking better question. So I was learning, like, also always say that how to answer the question, right? Because our teacher keep asking, but never in our school maybe try to teach us how to ask the better way, right? How to ask the good way. So when you ask, it's like reporter, it's like journalist. When you do journalist, have a better questions, you will be the good journalist, right? And then how about the creative thinking? Is it a lot of thing, a creative thinking about use? Maybe you cannot do one thing. Maybe with the current thing, you can do something. That's why how relevant. It's a lot of things we do in the critical thinking. It's rather that what happened to our work. So honestly, when you were in a university and then get back to work, how many things in your university that you still remember and you use at the work? Only few, right? But you need your
Very few.
brain to thinking about it. So this is what I try to answer from the Felix question. Hopefully it's the answer, yeah.
Thank
uh,
you. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
In fact, we have a question from the audience to
yeah,
actually
yeah,
ask you how to, okay, well, we are now in the COVID-19 situation, as we are all
yeah.
aware of. So, well, since we have, we stay at home and we definitely have a lot of time.
Yep.
So, got one audience asked actually how to improve critical thinking skills at home. Maybe how you can
That's
help to
great.
address this question?
Yeah, thank you for the questions. How can we improve critical thinking skills at home? It's as simple that you want to do something, you have the reason behind it. So start to do that. You want to buy something, you have to reason about it. And even it's like in a home, even you want to buy a food, you need to try to make what the reason I choose this food. Why? Oh, because you can put the fun in your reason, but mostly you have the argumentation about what you choose, what you try to buy. For example, like this. Of course, when the COVID-19, you buy anything, right, online. So be careful when you go to the marketplace. You will go for like losing your mind. You will buy anything, right? And then try to freeze it by asking yourself first why I need to do that, and you can find the argument behind it. Usually that's how they and critical at home. And another way, you can also watch YouTube, good YouTube. Maybe the podcast that has a good podcast can improve your critical thinking, because I watch a lot in the YouTube that discussion that make you smart. You know that there's some content YouTube that creators not making you smart, but some of the content make you smart, right? So you can use that. You can use it at home.
Understand.
You watch the YouTube and then listen to the good one, and then make you think. Sometimes that make you think that one of the way to improve your critical thinking at home, just like that. So Felix,
Okay.
there's another
Thank you very.
questions.
Yes, there's in fact another questions, but more to regarding your experience in your memory championships. So we do have a audience asking what are what motivates you to actually compete in memory championships? And maybe how do you feel when you're actually competing in your first memory championship? Yeah, maybe any message to
Okay,
share?
my first,
Mm.
yeah, my first championship it was in 2002. It's a local in Indonesia, and then I came to World Championship in 2003 in Kuala Lumpur at the time. So that was my first competitions, and that's my first time grandmaster because I got my grandmaster in 2003. And then what motivated me because only few person do this thing in Indonesia at the time. Also until now, only few
Mm.
person can do some things cool like memory things. And what happened in my school at the time? Uh, I really like to playing video game when I was a kid, and my mother said
Oh.
that, okay, uh, you want to keep playing video game, give me good scores at the school, and then I need to find how to make my learning faster than the other. So I try to learn anything. I learn math, I learn memory also, and when I combine it, okay, I can have a shorter time to learn, and I can have more time to playing the video game. That motivate me at the first time. And then lucky I win, and then after that try to build the team. That's what motivate me because I really love video game at the time, and I almost come into major in video game engineer. I almost entering that, but
Mm.
unfortunately I choose the mining engineer. I was a mining engineer for 6 years before came into this area. So that's my motivation, Felix.
I see. So I think it's a good advice for all parents to actually let kids play more games in order to improve their memory. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, but sometimes it's works, sometimes not. But now you cannot avoid it. This is all people do the activity in home, right? At home, almost
Correct.
impossible your kids not playing game. Almost
Mm.
impossible your kids not playing game. You just to know how to roll, how to play your role, so they
Balance it
can
out in a way.
balance it out. Okay. So I would
Got
like
it.
to know that whether all the participants already make some flexibility option about it, about the shapes. Uh, okay, so let's see the part if maybe someone know what is it like the maybe I ask the panelists, what do you think, Abby? Figure A, it can be what?
For figure A, since I'm driving,
Yeah.
what I try to see in that figure is when I open my car, I see, I think that's the odometer.
Oh, the odometers. That's great. So what else? What else? Do you think the figure A can be? Do you think
When,
that's a
when I stand on the weighing scale because it's pandemic, you see that the weighing scale is going heavier.
oh, that's the yes,
Very
yeah,
relevant.
yeah, that's so relevant. I believe for sure that Abby is one of the most creative here. Yeah, I
I
believe
agree.
figure C. Any of my friends or panelists or participant thinks that what we can make possibility things from figure C. What do you think figure C can be? Anyone know? How about Thomas? What do
Bitcoin
you?
movement, Bitcoin movement,
Oh,
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
The graphs, maybe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The graph and
Bitcoin.
also Bitcoin. Okay, so AB was
Bitcoin.
that's a run, and then there's another from the participants say that the figure eight can be stopwatch, clock, weighing scale, right? My childhood best drawing. Okay, because my childhood. Okay, so I will go for like the real thing, the figure G. What do you think? It could be what figure D.
When
What
you go
possibly?
to the cinema, you know, like the big screen you have in
Oh
front of
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. The screen, the cinema screens. Great. What else do you think when you see this? Good.
Because I'm getting
Like a
hungry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What do you think?
imagine a
sorry, Abby, you go
sushi.
ahead.
The sushi. The sushi
Black
skin. Yeah,
kind
good.
of
The
seaweed.
contrast, yeah, the seaweed
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah,
sushi.
yeah. Felix, what do you think? Felix, what is it look like?
Honestly, I'm quite thirsty, so it seems to me like a bottle of can or to drink something like Coke, maybe.
Yeah,
It could be. How Eric? How about you, Eric? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think it's yeah. I agree with Felix.
I don't know. I
What
have no
about like
idea. Maybe I'm low flexibility. Okay, so this is so many things that we can think. If we think more, we can explore more about the shape. And this is one of the practice that you can do also at home. You find the shape and then trying to figure out what the possible. So there's sometimes like facial, maybe facial, right? Now you have facial, right? You can do much facial, and then the one that also hard is the figure B. Figure B, you need to know like it's sometimes it's kind of like this is a mountain with the reflection.
kite? It's a kite. Kite.
It's a kite. Yeah, this is a figure B. It's not easy, right? And then hopefully that all of you can explore more based on this shape. So okay, so Felix, is
Okay.
there any?
Maybe we're moving on to the last question from the audience.
Okay.
So actually, we have two audience asking about how does this class of critical thinking helps the students who actually listen to it, and how do you feel about these critical thinking skills?
So
Maybe you
okay,
could share with the audience.
first, if the student just here, they cannot improve their critical thinking. What they have to do, they have to work the worksheet. So they have to, you give the project. For example, we talk about the social media in generalization. Let them think about the generalization of transportation. So let them have the other example. From listen to this method, let them have the other example. For example, you give a challenge, please make the generalization of transportation. They will list the example of the transportation like a motorcycle, car, maybe plane, ship, and then put the properties of the each example, and then make the criteria yes or no is one of the practice. And also you can uh, take one things like for example like handphone, please explaining about handphone, just explain use compass, and then you can put another thing near you, and then you can use compass to practicing. When people start to explain one thing in a structured way, the other person will love you, will love your explanations, because you are the clearest one to explain something. That's my answer, Felix.
Okay. And I hope it does answer the audience questions most importantly. And of course, if you have any more, we've basically come to the end of the session. If you have any more Q&A, maybe you would like to actually post it to Mr. Yudi to his email. Maybe Mr. Yudi, you would like to share your page over so they can
Okay,
actually take
so
note of it.
yeah, you can join my Instagram at Yudi Lesmana GMM, on also Facebook Yudi Lesmana, or simple we can contact by this time. You can send an email to Yudi at Ingatan Gajah, or I'm in a WA group also. I also in a WA group with my other number, but I'm sure
All
I'm
right, that's great.
I'm your group. Okay, so we
All right,
can
that's great.
talk more after that.
Sure. All right. With that, we actually have come to the end of the Brain Talk session, and I would like to actually thank you, Mr. Yudi, Mr. Thomas, Miss AB, Mr. Eric, for joining us today, and of course, thank you all participants for joining us at this session tonight. Basically, before I end off, just one more reminder to please actually scan into the QR code. Alternatively, click on the link so that you can keep yourself updated for the next session of Brain Talk. So with that, I wish you all a very wonderful evening and an enjoyable weekend. Hope to see you in the next session of Brain Talk. Take care and have a nice day. Goodbye. Right. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you
All right.
all.
Bye bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Abby and Eric, and
All right.
hopefully it's good.
Thank you.